Stop interfering with God's process by holding on to broken relationships. See, having a good heart can cause you to forfeit the future that God has in front of you. See, having a good heart can put you in harm's way. I understand that you care for them and you feel sorry for them. Maybe not, see. But by you always coming to save them, you are going to end up sinking the ship that God has for you, see. You can't always intervene when God is starting to spank his children, see. I think back when I was a child and my brother was getting a whooping. And I would scream and say, leave him alone to my stepfather. And it turned into me getting a whooping too, see. I had to learn that if I didn't want to get a whooping for something that my brother was doing, I needed to stay in my own zone. And my brother had to learn it also, vice versa, see. Jumping in other people's business all the time, playing captive saver to somebody, can cause you to pay the wages of that man or woman's wrath that God is putting over their life, see. Sometimes by you helping people all the time, you are disrupting their learning process and what God has them to go through. So sometimes you are not called to always be there and lift out a helping hand to everyone all the time. Sometimes you have to let people learn by going to God, see. You praying to God and by them going to God on their own terms, by them learning them lessons. Because if you keep interfering with them, they may never learn their lessons. See, sometimes it's not always meant for us to come and save people. Sometimes we have to learn to get quiet and let them learn the processes of their life, see. What has been dealt in their life has a lot to do with what they have been sowing in their life, see. Problems don't always rise up as an adult unless we had to do something for the problems to arise. And sometimes we didn't do anything, but we may just have to learn a lesson of the unknown, see. By you always coming to save people, you are basically enabling them in their process. We are going to read Proverbs 13, verse 20, and it goes a little something like this, out of the King James Version. He that walketh with wise men shall be wise, but a companion of fools shall be destroyed. See, what is it that this man or woman is doing in their life for them to continue to have this path of destruction? See, you can't always be there to save people of their foolish ways, see. But you would be much more of a wise counselor to pray for them from behind closed doors and to lend encouraging words, see. But if you continue to lend encouraging words and that is not getting them nowhere and they're constantly bumping their head, this is something that they have to foster alone, see. If you know that this is a relationship that is not happy and it is not meant for you to continue, which means that their ship is sinking, your ship is going to start sinking with them. By you holding on to them, it's going to pull you down in the process. And the next thing you know, that you've been so focused on the raft that God has put in their life, and then now God has put in the raft over your life. And that is not what God has called you to do. God has called you to stand tall and stay wise. And God wants you to get into company with people who are much more wiser, see. Because iron sharpens iron. And if you have no one in your life to sharpen you, then God has placed videos like what I'm giving you and others are giving you to help you do your sharpening and work on your sharpening skills. See, God has so many forms of ways and teleports to get to his chosen ones, TVs, radios, your mindset. And see, he sends me to you as confirmations to say, stop holding on to that broken relationship, because that person is not going to do nothing but pull you down. See, you can't love those more than you love yourself and what God has placed over your life. See, some people love to live in misery, and they see that you're rising and they want you to be pulled down into their misery. So you're going to have to start getting in the company of those that is going to sharpen up your skills, that is going to tell you when you are wrong, that is going to feed your soul. So now God is calling you to sharpen up your skills and get in the company of much more wiser people. And sometimes you may have to pay the price, whether it's a mentor, it's going to see a counselor, or maybe talking to your pastor. Anyone that you can get into company with, joining church, joining groups, sessions, to get in the company of people that is going to sharpen you up so you can be a lot more brighter to where God is calling you. Some relationships have ran their course in your life, and you have to be in understanding of that. You had to have studied that relationship to see where it is leading you. We're going to read out of the King James Version, 1 Corinthians chapter 15. We're going to start at verse 13. Be not deceived. Evil communication corrupts good manners. Now we're going to go to 34. Awake to righteousness and sin not, for some have not the knowledge of God. I speak this to your shame. So God is saying that sitting around corrupted company is only going to destroy your life. See, how can you evolve in the dark and you can't see? How can you have communion in the dark and we can't see? So that means it's not leading us anywhere. That company is leading you astray, see. But instead you want to get into the light. And once you step into these new relationships, God said it's going to be a time of you being quiet and learning. Allow these people to sharpen up your skills. I don't know about you, but that's what I plan to do. I plan to sit in rooms with people and learn from them. You can go to seminars in your field to become much more brighter. I have done it. I've sat in rooms with people who were millionaires, and just to see how liberated that room was and how it was much more inspiring to see greatness. It's definitely possible. I don't care where you live. I don't care about that environment. That's what it is right now. But God's saying that is not what your future is going to be. But you're going to have to get in company with that. But until due time, that is going to be something for you to plan for. That is going to be something that you have to learn about in order to get yourself in those rooms, see. But until due time, continue to listen to high vibrational videos like what I am giving you today and what others are giving you. And don't forget to hit that like button. That is your way of planting the seed in the universe and being abundance in your life, see. What goes around comes around. What we put in the atmosphere, that is what God is going to put in our atmosphere. So, God bless you on this Monday morning and the week that you have ahead of you. And I will continue to give videos. So thank you for tuning in to Wisdom is Fruitfulness.